We're here to talk about Invincible Season 2, Episode 1, the premiere episode. It's been a long time since
It's
we've
about
seen
damn time, damn
I
Invincible.
it.
know.
We knew that it was going to be a long time before we saw Season 2, and now we're here. I guess that just means we're older than we were before. But hey, life is life right now. So what did you guys think? What did you guys think of the first episode of this season? Did it reach your expectations?
Overall, it made sense because actually there were surprises. One, the whole idea there's the whole multiverse going in, so that's going to be a cool thing playing off. But as far as our normal story with our version of Mark, I love how authentic it was towards his pain and how him getting by. It wasn't trying to rush it. They weren't trying to make it too slow. It was just an authentic. It sucks. This is what you got to do. This is the process. And I really appreciate it going through the whole episode.
Yeah, I agree with that fully. I didn't know how much I missed Invincible until I actually watched it. I think too, I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, is it going to be as good as it was? And it was good. I didn't have a lot of expectations, but one thing that did stand out for me was that Chuku was that Mark and his mom are bereft. They're going through it. You can see the stages of actual grief and how they're coping with it. And that's not something that you can gloss over, and they're not, which is great. And it's going to be something that they're going to have to deal with for the whole season. But yeah, and then you also mentioned another huge thing is there's a multiverse, which is crazy because everything in media right now is multiverses. The effect that Spider-Verse had on media is it can't even be measured. It's crazy. Between Spider-Verse and Loki and the MCU and Everything Everywhere All at Once and Mortal Kombat, and just everything is a multiverse now. And there isn't any fatigue yet, but when hey,
speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
No, okay.
I did an audible eye roll as soon as the multiverse explanation came.
OC, you did not let me. You didn't let me finish because I was going to say when they mentioned a multiverse, I did roll my eyes. I rolled my eyes, but I controlled it. I was like, okay, I still have faith. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'm not counting them out. I still love that media,
I'm going to say, to defend Invincible, that is part of the comics. There is a multiverse thing, and that's part of the main comics. So they're just following the comics. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes.
Sure. Yeah, what's y'all's thoughts, OC Scott?
It was cool getting back into the swing of things. I think that they did a good job of picking up where they left off. I feel, but yeah, I did think that the multiverse stuff was a bit, I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely just feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of multiverse content that we've received recently. And it does seem because the problem with multiverse and time travel content is that it has always been easy for that theme to kind of fall into bad writing, because you can kind of be lazy and just generally, nothing really matters because you can just change anything, and no decisions have to make sense. So because there's this overall explanatory tool for everything basically. So I think that it's difficult to not run into those issues when you're dealing with time travel, when you're dealing especially with multiverse stuff. I'm not gonna say that that's why MCU is flailing right now. That's a bunch of other things, but I mean it's part of it. It's part of it. It's it is definitely part of the reason why. And then some the other stuff that we've mentioned, there have been a few pieces of content that have done it really well. I think Spider-Verse has done a really good job generally. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once did a very good job with the topic. So yeah, I think that you can do a good job. I think it's just the over reliance on multiverse stuff it's very it's very clear, and I don't know
It's
why
the
it's
new
happening.
trend, and it's hard to like think about Invincible like as if it were in a vacuum, because it's like we have been exposed already to so much like multiversal media that it's like you can't help but compare, and you can't help but
Yeah.
have these expectations.
If
And
we
I think that is going to affect. I think it's going to affect the viewing experience for sure.
if we get an alternate version Homelander, I'm I'm gonna be
Omni-Man?
I'm done. Yeah, no, but
Homelander. The crossover.
yeah.
A crossover.
That would happen in the Mortal Kombat games because they're both going to be in there.
Yo,
Fair.
maybe. But yeah, we'll see. But generally, I'm at the wait and see part of it. Like they did a very good job with the story in the first season, so I'm hoping that they continue to maintain that level of storytelling here. And then I think the characters, they were all portrayed very well. Was that Olga character in season 1? I kind of forgot about her.
Yeah, she was.
She was in season 1.
Wait, you mean like the wife of the speedster?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that who
Yeah,
she
she
was?
was. Yeah, that was her.
Wow, how could you forget? Insensitive.
I mean, yo,
bastard.
it was a long time ago. It was a long time
No,
ago. Season
You're
1.
right. Because you know how they had the recap at the beginning? I was like, okay, sweet.
I
I
didn't
remember
watch
all
that.
this stuff.
Oh, you should
No,
have
well-
watched it.
No, even
was
if you
nice.
watched it, because like I was like watching the show and I was like, oh, what are these guys' names again? And I was like, I'm gonna need a better recap than that. Like I'm gonna have to watch like a YouTube video soon because I forgot like everyone's names.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought the pilot episode of the season 2 was okay. There were definitely some issues I had with
Mhm.
like the.
Expand. I want to hear.
All right, let's just get into it then.
Yeah.
I think my main issue, and OC touched on this, was multiversal stuff. So like the guy whose power is to basically he can go anywhere.
Sterling K.
any
Brown's
world.
voice. His voice is so iconic that like it picked it up immediately. But
Also,
yeah.
leave it to Scott to poke holes in the logic of the multiverse and time travel.
But what is his name again? The character.
Eggstrom or something like that?
Angstrom. Yeah.
Angstrom.
Angstrom. Okay, there it is.
So I thought that the concept is cool and everything. It's sort of like a Rick and Morty type of thing. But at the same time, like the execution is very poor. Like I think the clones
Yeah.
The
made
Maulers.
a really good
Oh,
point.
Maulers.
saying-
Yeah. The
and
Maulers.
saying like why like try to get all their memories and all that stuff. Like it's so risky and everything. And he just wants like to understand and piece all the puzzle pieces together, I guess. But even if that was his plan, why not choose like a world where, I don't know if I missed this, if there was an explanation, but why not just choose a world where you can't be stopped? Like you build all the stuff in that world instead of building it in a world where like you can be stopped by people like Invincible and so on, you know?
Does
Yeah,
he
like-
have
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
Like
a,
what-
a deserted place where no
Yeah.
one can stop you.
But the place he's in is not inside. He's not in that world where Invincible is for that multiverse, if I'm correct.
But how
I
did
thought he
how did
was.
Invincible go stop him?
Yeah.
Wait.
Because Invincible showed up at the end.
Yeah, to stop him, and that's why the machine broke and everything.
Sorry, I'm lost thoughts. I feel like I don't know. I watched it really quickly, but dang. Okay. Well,
Yeah, I
to
think
your
that's-
expense, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
fair.
think
That's a
that's-
fair criticism.
Yeah, I think that's a fair issue. Maybe he doesn't know what universe would have been the right universe, but probably not that universe.
Wait,
I
if
don't
I'm
know.
correct,
if he's
Didn't
at
he
all,
say that all of the Invincibles were evil except for the one Markson or the R Markson?
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I'm correct.
he did say that.
So that could be.
he said most. I don't think he said all.
Oh, okay, he said
Not
most.
all. Plus,
And-
what if there's a universe where just like everyone's dead and you
Exactly.
can do whatever you want?
That's
Exactly. That was essentially where he brought the two clones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
he
the
was like,
beginning.
it was just a desolate place with nothing there. Like,
Oh
well,
no!
why not create your
You're
machine?
making so much sense, Scott. Because it's like, yeah, why would he like? That's. I feel like it's actually implementing the thing is more important than recruiting the Maulers.
yeah, it's
Ugh.
just there's so many things you can do with that power, and like And for you to mess up so simply, you must be an idiot. Like, I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's okay. Speak your truth, Scott. Speak your
We said the
truth.
same thing about.
But I
Kate
mean,
from
hey,
Gen V.
this is where we start to see the cracks in relying on multiverse stuff.
Stop! It can't happen
So-
already. It can't suck already.
It's not that it sucks. It's just that, like, they've got to
Multiverses
like,
suck.
think about this stuff and explain it without it, falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene again because I feel like, from my memory, I did remember them when he brought the two Maulers into the other desert planet. I thought that was the planet where all of his other dimensional selves were in, if I'm correct.
No, he left that planet.
Okay,
I remember
have to
that,
rewatch
yeah.
that.
It was just a threat. It was like, oh, I'm gonna leave you here unless you help me. And then they left afterwards.
Yeah.
It could be too that, like, I don't know. It could have been a calculated thing. Like, maybe it would take too long to build all that stuff from scratch in some deserted universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, maybe they needed the tech and the power from the universe that Mark is in. I don't know.
Can you explain what he was trying to do again? What
I
was he
hate
trying
that I
do?
have to even like make this
He was-
argument,
He
but
was
maybe.
he was trying to like basically absorb all of his other selves, all their memories, and like basically be able to see everything at once and understand, oh, how do I solve each world's problems like that?
Right.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I
Okay.
and I think that's
It's-
a dumb I think that's
I was
pretty
about to
stupid,
say.
but-
I was about to say. I'm like, okay, is that the best way to like? Because at first, when he was explaining his plan, I'm like, oh, he just has to like meet up with his other versions of himself and just like collaborate about how
Exactly.
to solve
Yeah.
this problem. But
He
then
was already doing
he's like
that,
building
kind
this
of.
machine. I'm like, I'm kind of lost about what's
Yeah,
happening
and,
right now.
and the machine has so many risks to it too. It's like, oh, you could totally die. You could like your brain will melt, all this stuff, and it's like, well, why even risk it? You have this immense power that you can bring maybe like a good Omni-Man or like good Viltrumites in some multiverse
We could
and
just
bring
have
them
a
into the.
council.
It was actually
of
the worst
angstroms.
possible
Whoa.
scenario happened. Like, he didn't die, but like tons of other people did, and
And
now
he
he's
hates
like,
Invincible. I'm like,
and now he's like
why?
a freak.
Maybe he's like the stupidest variant of Angstrom.
Yeah, maybe he's like the most. Yeah,
Did
the most
not
ambitious.
a single other Angstrom be like, yo, dude, that is such a bad
We
plan.
could just talk to each other. We don't have to do it like this.
I'm just sorry, like that in
Yeah.
itself
Maybe
is
they
why...
trusted him because he said he's the only one with that power. So maybe he's just like, it's got to be this way. It's got to be this way.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't make the rules. These are just my powers.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to like bag on like.
No, it's fair.
It's
Fair
just
criticism. I agree with that.
I didn't really think about it, but you're just making it sound kind of funny.
No, I mean, yeah, it was definitely something where I was like, there was a jump that happened, and I was like, why are we here right now?
I feel that, dude. I feel that. Like maybe I missed it. Maybe there was this like big explanation I didn't like. I don't know, but
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
feel. I feel like I have to rewatch the episode again
Yeah.
because I feel like there was something there.
but
Do you have any other criticism?
that was my main one, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, like I'm glad to see the show up and running again. I really enjoyed the first season, so
Mhm.
looking forward to more.
Yeah, the performances are really good. Like, Mark is like so great. Who voices Mark again?
Steven.
Steven Yeun.
Yeah.
And like Sandra Oh, like also killed it as like the mom, and like
Need more J.K. Simmons.
more J.K. Simmons. He's so good in everything.
What did you guys think about the alternate universe that we first saw?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I think I was confused
I
until
was
they
like,
explained
Flashpoint,
everything.
Flashpoint.
Dude, first I thought it was the future. I was like, oh, please. And then I was like,
That's
okay,
what I
good,
thought
it's all
too.
Universe.
I think Future would have been better, honestly. I think that being the future would have been better.
It's the
and
future
then-
for someone.
yeah, but
in
just
a
not
different
for,
uni-
it's definitely an
universe.
alternate universe.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think it could have been cool just to have like maybe he like eventually teams up with his dad, but as like a double agent of some sort, and there's like this elaborate plan. But I don't know. That's definitely not the case.
Yeah, I feel like they should definitely expand on that because I can't see Mark going down that road, like not the one we have, obviously. So I'm just curious to how the other ones, because most of them ended up going that route. So I'm like,
Yeah, what's
how?
different
Like,
about
yeah.
them or
Mhm.
about this mark?
Yeah, it was like almost like senselessly evil, that mark.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I'm very curious. Hopefully they expand on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall, like, I mean, again, it was definitely good to see it come back. One thing I do have to mention that's going to kind of suck is that supposedly they're only going to only show up to half of the season this year, and they're going to make us see the other half next year. So we're only going to get 4 episodes, basically.
Oh, really?
And then we're going to get the other
Interesting.
4 episodes later. So
Next year is in like as soon as it's January.
probably like maybe March.
What? That's so long from now.
Yeah. So
Are they doing like 40-minute episodes or something, or what?
it's always 40-minute episodes for sure.
Okay. That's not too
So-
bad. It's like a anime almost. If
Yeah, it is, but it's like for us to only get half of it and then wait another half, and it's only 8 episodes. It's like,
Did remind me, did Arcane do something similar? Because remember they released
They
like
did
3
333.
episodes, 333. But what was the break? Wasn't that
Like
crazy? Was
a
it?
week.
yeah, it was a
Just
week,
a-
only a
only a
week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, an interesting choice. Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, don't remind me of Arcane right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Although I don't know if you guys remember the trailer, but I heard the voice of Optimus Prime, so I'm looking forward to that character.
Really?
Yeah, the voice of Optimus Prime, man.
For
Todd?
what? Oh.
He's gonna play one of the Viltrumites. That's what I heard.
Oh, dang.
Autobots.
Oh, did I say Todd? I meant Tom.
No,
I
that's
think-
not Tom. He's not Tom.
Who's Tom? Tom is
Steve
Optimus
Bloom.
Prime?
Steve Bloom is Tom.
Blum. And he's not Optimus Prime.
I thought that Tom was Optimus Prime.
No, Tom was the other announcer guy in Tsunami. He's just that random announcer guy. He's like, only Tsunami.
That's not Optimus Prime?
No, that is Optimus Prime, but Tom is
Yeah, that's what I'm
the-
saying.
Okay, Tom is the robot. And then sometimes they'll have
Oh.
a random announcer guy.
Oh, yeah,
He's
you're
like,
right.
Go
That's
watch
true.
Dragon
Tom
Ball
is the
Z.
robot.
Yeah,
and then
Tom's
the
the robot.
announcer is a separate.
Yeah,
and they would talk
that's
to each other
Steve Bloom.
sometimes.
Yeah, they'll talk to each other. They'll break the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah, y'all are talking about some really old stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Sorry.
I like-
Let's go back to Invincible. Sorry. Wrong.
Yeah.
This is Invincible.
That was an important distinction to make, though, because I was also kind of like, wait.
Yeah. It clicked in my head when you said they talk to each other. I feel like I remember that.
Okay, well,
Um,
we'll hear it when he finally shows up in the show, and we'll laugh about this.
Yeah, we will. But yeah, I think that it was, a solid kickoff. I think that they've got some work cut out for them for sure. Hopefully they don't, fumble the bag on the story element. I think they've got some, they've got some work cut out for them. So we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do.
If I want to be a little bit nitpicky, as much as the animation is slightly improved, there are some moments where it looks very stiff, and I'm just like, is this going to be their art style? I guess is just to look
Yeah,
like it's
I've just given it.
In the
that's
beginning,
what
I was like,
expect.
wow, they really improved. And then when it the more it went on, I was like, wait, this looks the same. Which is
Yeah.
fine. I've never been like a stickler for animation anyways. It's like, as long as the workers are being treated nicely, like I don't care. Like the story's good, I'm good. But yeah, I did
Yeah.
kind of like notice this.
Yeah, there's like a moment he's
It was
flying,
awesome.
and it just looked like a paper cut, kind of like. I'm just thinking, I guess it's
Fine.
Invincible, right?
Yeah,
Well, it
that's
is kind
the
of crazy
show.
because like we're talking Amazon budget, right? Shouldn't they
Oh,
be
yeah.
on a Netflix level, Loki?
Yeah, exactly. Since Invincible did so well, I was imagining it'd
this
be
is
like
just-
better animation.
I feel like this is just their icon. But then it's like you look at it and it's like, why is it taking 2 years to make this? Why is it taking 2 years to make this? It's
You don't know
okay.
what goes into animation, all right?
I know enough to know that no other show seems to have this problem except for the ones that we care about. They're the only ones that seem to have to wait 2-3 years between each season for the next Last of Us is going to be 2 years. All the good shows you got to wait like extra long. It's okay.
Good. I mean, it means they're taking their time to make it good. So hopefully.
That's what we think.
That's what they think.
We just spent more time in the writer's room, all right? Just give a little faith.
And plus we have this whole writer's strike. So and
Well, that
and
ended,
actor's strike.
but the actor strike is now continuing. So
Yeah. Okay. But I'm curious. I think it was a good start. We'll see how it goes. I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
so he's working with that what's that guy's name again? The government guy.
Cecil.
Cecil. Yeah, so he's working with Cecil now.
I love
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a really interesting character. But do we think he trusts Mark?
Cecil?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see. It's funny because I feel like what's his name? Who's Immortal? He doesn't trust Mark.
Yeah,
He's already
he for sure
he's already
doesn't.
like, I don't trust him. But I think Cecil sees where Mark's heart is. So I think he trusts, he knows what he's capable of, but I don't think he's like completely like, I don't think he is completely against him. That's what I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
Cecil's like a skeptic, I feel. Even if he
Yeah.
did trust Mark, he wouldn't like put all his cards on him, you know?
That's
You
fair.
wouldn't put him in the field right now because I don't know. Cecil seems he's a professional, right? And like
Yeah.
these superpower people are like they're like soldiers. You're not trying to like let someone who you think is not optimal right now like go into the field in any case, right?
Mhm.
But he knows that Mark is an asset, and so like they're gonna want to use him eventually, right? And
Right.
yeah, but I do think he understands that Mark is like not a bad dude, like
Yeah.
he seems wise to that.
I feel like the Immortal's like an asshole. Like, why not? Why not at least try to talk to him and understand him? Instead, he's just like, I don't trust you.
I think
Like-
yeah, you're right. He's just an asshole, dude.
Dude, you've been alive for so long, and you didn't develop any like interpersonal skills. Like, I'm just saying, like,
That's true.
What a road.
you're talking to a kid, a teenager.
Who
And-
just lost their dad and
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and like that's how you treat him. Like, don't you think that's gonna make him like even more wary and more likely to betray you in the end?
Scott, maybe
This
this is
doesn't
what
im-
turns him.
yeah.
Maybe this is what turns that other Mark. He was like, this Immortal guy is such a dick. I'm just gonna be evil.
I know. Characters that are immortal are interesting because it's like, can you store every experience you have in like the brain of like a normal person? He's not like a genius, right? Isn't his whole thing is like
Nah.
he's been alive since like the caveman era, so maybe he doesn't have interpersonal skills because he has like a caveman
Yep,
brain, like
makes sense.
right? I don't know. The theory.
Yeah, he's not Vandal Savage.
Vandal
yeah.
Savage.
Oh, that'd be cool if he was though.
Anyways, anything else, guys? Or
I mean,
there's not too much to say.
yet. Yeah, exactly. Not much to say just yet, but I am excited. I missed all the characters. Like, just like the dialogue is like so great and Invincible and
Yeah.
like fun to hear. And I just want to see like what everyone's going to do with like
Yeah.
how everyone's going to deal with everything that's happened. Right.
I think the number one thing for me is just no more like weird plot contrivances. I really don't like it. It's not like I'm trying to look for them. It's just when I see it and I feel it, I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah. When things get a little convenient, but we'll see.
Or just weird for no reason. Like,
Mm.
yeah. We talked about it. Okay, so I think one other thing, Zachary Quinto, who is the robot, his whole storyline with the kid. What do you guys think about that?
I
him-
really loved it last season because it was a whole thing of like
Yeah.
separating like the self and like your identity and like your body. And this season it's like puberty, fear. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I do like his character, and I want to see what they do with that.
Not enough yet to form an opinion.
Not
Me
enough
too. Yeah, same with me. Not enough. A lot of this stuff is not enough for me to
Yeah.
form an opinion yet.
It was cool last season, and if they expand on like the whole philosophical side of it, should be good.
Are they gonna do that whole? Are they gonna go all in that like relationship between him and the monster girl?
I'm pretty sure they will.
It seems like that's the direction it's going.
Okay, for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, if you have any thoughts on this first episode of season 2 of not the voice.
Not even here yet.
No, not yet. If you have any thoughts on the first episode of season 2 of Invincible, definitely let us know down in the comments, and we will catch you later.
Peace.
Peace.